What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Power Up Podcast. I'm Violent. I'm joined here with GregFPS, my co-host. What's up, Greg?
What's going on, everyone?
This is episode number 13, a podcast that we bring to you guys every single Sunday. We try to always update you on Twitter if anything changes, but we got a line of topics here, and we're joined here with a special guest, Lunatic. What's going on, Luna?
What's going on, guys?
And so we're going to start right away with World War II. We got the worldwide reveal trailer, and man, it was very impactful, and it told us mostly about what the campaign's going to look like. So, Greg, what are you thinking right now when it comes to the storyline, at least, that we saw in the trailer?
Well, they did mention that it was going to be primarily kind of like a band of brothers. There's 12 people in their squad that are going to be working together to, defeat the Nazis and go through everything. We saw that it's going to be a campaign in Europe rather than anything to do with the Japanese side of things against the Americans in the Pacific. So it's mostly going to be in the European theater the entire time. It's going to start off most likely around the D-Day time. That was mentioned and also even shown in the trailer. We have D-Day with the invasion of Normandy. So I think that's going to definitely be a cool thing. It looked like they took some inspiration from Saving Private Ryan with the blood and the water and all that sort of stuff that was also mentioned or shown in that movie. So I think they're definitely taking it with a good angle, and they're going to be trying to, make it realistic as possible.
So, Luna, how'd you feel about the way they teased this trailer coming up? Like, they had a bunch of different small teasers that they were putting on Twitter and stuff. Did you just get hyped from that?
I had doctor's appointments and whatnot, so I wasn't able to see the trailer immediately. I saw it like an hour and a half after it was posted. So I didn't get to see anything on Twitter right before.
I think what he's talking about is like the teaser where you saw Call of Duty World War II with the, like, on the sand with the
on the
ocean.
Beach.
Yeah,
the marketing leading up to the trailer.
Yeah, and even the release
I
of the
saw
picture
the leaks long before that, yeah.
Nice. So far, I think, outside the leaks, though, mostly the marketing campaign is going really well for World War II. I'd say that Sledgehammer's knocking it out the park.
Absolutely. They've been wanting, ever since, Black Ops 1, they've been trying to go back to World War II? Or at least World War 1, something?
It's been a while.
I feel like that's a great time frame for them to stick at. And World War II seems like kind of a title that can continue on into the future. Maybe it'll be World War II something else. Like they'll just continue that type of title for Sledgehammer. I think it's a good base for them to go off of.
When I first saw the trailer, I got instantly hyped because it's the first time since Black Ops 2 that I got hyped to actually play multiplayer.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually really stoked for the multiplayer too.
Yeah, with the multiplayer, we even got, the unveil of headquarters as well, which was something like we saw in Destiny, where they have, the meeting place. And
Tower.
Before it was changed on the Xbox website, it said 2 to 48 players, and now it's changed from 2 to 18 players. So it's interesting to see if the headquarters is going to have 48 people, like it seemed in the small teaser, or just 18 people.
So the headquarters is just the meeting place, right?
Yeah, I believe it's to meet new people, chances are you can have, your own community, so I can have, a GregFPS camp and have, subscribers be as part of that camp. Or headquarters, they're calling it. So you can.
Well, that's interesting you bring that up, Greg, because clans might play another role here as well. So
yeah, you could definitely have a clan one. Yep.
I think the headquarters is going to be a new area where we've never seen clan stuff this way. I think it's going to be presented a whole new way.
And there might be kind of a thing. Yeah, there might be a thing kind of like we saw with Black Ops 3's Forest, where you kind of can pick where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
Here's
my question to you guys,
cool.
Because I love this headquarters idea, and in Destiny there is a guy that randomly shows up. I believe it's once a week, and his name is Xur. But what do you guys think of a guy showing up maybe once a week, and he's got zombie bounties, and that's our chance to go collect them and actually get a task done on a weekly basis. And he shows up at the headquarters as just another vendor that's there.
I mean, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I'd be
There's a
down
lot of
for it.
different
I mean,
things.
and they could implement the whole like COD points or crypto key system as well with this, where maybe he has like specific camos that you can only unlock when they go, and you have to. It might be like a camo for every gun, but you have to pay like 150 crypto keys or something for it.
Right, and when he's gone, he's gone. He won't be back till the next week, and you either miss that chance for that camo. I think it would be cool, man. It would bring a whole new level to like customization.
Yeah,
People are already complaining that they're copying Battlefield, so they're going to complain that they're copying Destiny at that point.
I mean, it's gotten to the point though, like even with people saying that World War II is like Battlefield, I don't think that's justified. I mean, do I think Call of Duty should have done World War II instead of Infinite Warfare? 100% yes. But at the same time, I mean, they're just a year behind. It doesn't mean that they're copying Battlefield, though.
You can't have two
I see your
World War
point.
II games come out at one shot like that, especially two big titles. They just wouldn't do that. They'd do it 1 year after the other.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but loot-wise,
At that point.
I don't think they'd be saying they'd copying Destiny. I'd say that they were inspired to do it the right way. Like, as we evolve through gaming, so does the game itself.
I mean, to be honest,
So.
though, I mean, they're both
Right.
companies under Activision, so
True. Yeah, that's a great
it's the
point.
same
actually.
intellectual property,
That's a great
just
point.
with different names.
You want to talk about the next topic, Greg?
Yeah, so we also got the thing with the cipher that was hidden in different promotional pictures. There's one with the zombie that teaser that we got, as well as some of the big multiplayer things, and the ones that showed like the multiplayer character, they were all different, and they had to do with the campaign, but the one that had zombies had to do with zombies specifically, which was very, very interesting. So I want to mention what they are real quick and how it could possibly play a role. So we know that like it's going to be Nazi zombies. That was literally confirmed. They are going to be Nazi zombies because the, Nazis were on their last straw. They needed someone to possibly fight against, the Allied forces because they were losing the war. And we got two different ones when you enter in the ciphers on the Call of Duty website, the World War II decoder. And the first one was of Frederick Barbarossa, who was I believe a king of somewhere way back in the day. But there was actually a thing called Operation Barbarossa that was actually in World War II. So that's pretty much all we can draw from that. But it could also be that since this was so far back and it was a king as well, it could kind of be a situation like Origins where they're excavating a certain area or uncovering a certain area that was in the war specifically, that was like a castle, but it had people from that time period as zombies.
I'm a sucker for medieval castles.
I mean, if you
the memes come back.
If you think about it, though, I mean, if they already have a castle with a bunch of dead people, then it might be easier for the Nazis to make them the zombies already.
I never thought of it that way. That is such a good point.
Yeah, and another thing is there's also another picture of a portrait of young man Raphael, and that is actually a picture that was stolen by the Nazis from Poland at when they invaded Poland in 1939.
An authentic picture.
Yes, so it's actually like a real thing, and it was a picture. I believe that it was never recovered, possibly. So that could also be something important. Maybe it's just talking about maybe this will be where the map takes place, somewhere that it was stolen in 1939, or it could probably not, though, because they said towards the end of the war. So I would assume it's going to be in like 1944, but we'll see. Do you guys have anything to add to like what I just mentioned?
I got one thing to add, and that's, I guess, in the file, the actual source code of this material, it does state that this folder, because that's what we're looking at, it's a folder with pages in it. They're calling it a zombie tablet.
Okay.
I don't know why they're calling it a tablet.
tablet?
Yeah, that's what it's called in the source code.
Well, and they
Super Easter egg confirmed.
And they also have the multiplayer things, and when you get through all of them, it says that they have something waiting for you when the game actually releases. So it seems like if you get interested now and get involved and enter all the things, which you can find on the Reddit, then you can actually get like a special item when the game actually releases. So I'm definitely going to do that eventually.
I'll have to look into that, but I think that's interesting. I don't know what you could unlock, but
I mean,
imagine
I think
your profile's got to be connected, right? Like,
yeah,
you got to be logged into Call of Duty.
Yeah, on the Call of Duty website. But I like what they're doing, man. It's making people, search for these types of things and kind of have a scavenger hunt, which works great, especially with the zombies community.
Yeah, it's that engagement factor. The only other people that are really good at that so far has been Infinity Ward this year, and we've seen that better than ever for those of us who've stuck around. But
yeah, I mean, even Treyarch had the Winter Forest or whatever.
Oh, the 12 Days of Winter?
The forest before the game was even like announced, right?
That was Infinite
The
Warfare.
Frozen Forest. No, that was Black Ops 3. The Frozen Forest with the crows, and they even showed everyone thought that it might have something to do with Vietnam because of the Vietnam soldiers. This was before Black Ops 3 was announced.
Okay.
But for Infinite Warfare, we got the picture of the cinema with the zombie and the popcorn and blood, but that didn't really tell us too much. I mean, looking back at it now, we obviously know what it means, but...
Yeah, I was thinking of something else when you mentioned that. Yeah, I love where they're going with this website. It definitely should add more to it as we move forward towards E3. I guess E3 is really the next thing we're looking forward to.
Yeah, because they're gonna unveil multiplayer more there. I'm sure we'll get some more zombies, maybe a zombies trailer, possibly. I highly doubt that though. That's usually
the dates June 13th through the 15th for E3.
Yeah, and we're also going to be getting a beta most likely in August as well.
Nice, that's not long after.
So that's definitely getting my hype levels a little bit higher. But let's jump and switch gears from World War II a little bit and talk about Black Ops 2 and also like just zombies in general. What do you think's going on with the community and why everyone is doing speed runs and different zombie challenges like no revive and things like that? What do you think is like the main reason people are doing that?
Because nobody has original challenges anymore, other than, people that still do the 2-box challenge, or people that do like no power challenge or no magic challenge. That stems from zombie records. That's part of a world record thing. There's no other fresh content at the moment. People are not interested in Infinite Warfare unless it's DLC release week. So for a week of the release, people watch it, and then after that, it plummets. So everyone goes back to trying to get records because of views or whatever. A lot of the smaller guys use it, because they see the bigger guys using it and getting a lot of views. A lot of people go into doing these runs knowing full well that they won't get it, or just on the off chance of luck that they do. There's only a few people that do actually get records, as far as the YouTubers that stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really want to get into names or specifics.
Yeah, but the speedruns itself, it's a new phenomenon that's happening. So that's what I'm taking from it. I mean, I'm seeing everybody get into these things, and we have the basic Easter egg hunt that we all do. Like you said, it dies after the first week. Xbox gets it a month later, it's back for another week, and it's gone. And that's the routine we're used to. So everybody that's so used to not having game modes, I think speedruns is that filler, man. That filler for right now while we look forward to something new into the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's new content and it's entertaining. People enjoy watching it. They feel like they're part of it when they're, watching YouTubers do it.
And if you get the record, man, they get so hype.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
definitely.
Along with that, it's great to see. It's great to see a change of pace. A reason for zombies to shine again, and to make Black Ops 2, searchable again on YouTube. I'm just grateful that it is. And so, and you guys crushing it over there speedrunning. I just think that speedruns is a new wave of the future right now, and something else will eventually take its place, but maybe not. Maybe enough people will get into it, and it will actually be a long-running thing from now on.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely fun as well. It's enjoyable to stream. And if the views are there, then it's what everyone's going to stream,
Agree.
So,
Agree.
Do you want to talk about the special event going on this week in Black Ops 3 or this weekend?
That's very minor. It's going to end on Monday, so by the time we're talking about this, it's going to be over. But for you guys who got to play it in Black Ops 3, it's a multiplayer playlist called Blackjack Gun Game. There's not really zombies news to cover, but we'll talk more about DLC 5 stuff as we move in this conversation later. But right now, all that's happening in Black Ops 3 is this new playlist. What's great about it is you get to play with all the DLC weapons. They're actually included in this playlist, so if you didn't get to earn them or play with them at all, you can go over to Black Ops 3 and actually play this playlist and get your hands on those weapons. And so I think it's cool to see something like that finally coming to the board. It gives you a chance to play with all of them that you haven't tried.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a cool addition that they are doing. And it should be a mainstay with the rest of the game's life cycle, pretty much. So now that we've discussed that, do you guys want to jump into a little bit of IW talk? Because there's still the Savage Clock Easter egg, which is on the roof of the Inferno. We also got a few insights to what possibly could be DLC 3. So, I mean, do you guys want me to start off, or do you guys want to start off?
We could talk about the Savage Clock, I guess, because we did spawn the first element of it. I don't really understand it. You have more of an understanding than I do. What I know is on the roof, there's a Savage gauge, and that gauge can spawn symbols on it if you hit a certain radio. There's a ton of these radios around the map. Greg, you were saying something like 12 have been discovered so far, but there's
Something
one in
like
particular
that
will spawn these symbols.
Yeah, there's one that will mention Adam Savage, I believe is the name, or something like that. Something Savage, and the clock literally says, like, Savage Industries or something like that, so everyone calls it the Savage Clock. So, once you hit this radio, then symbols show up, and they're the same symbols that show up on the roof when you're doing the Easter egg step, where you need to, fill out the whatever the word is, and kind of decipher what the word is. So everyone thought it had to do something with that, but it turns out that those radios were used for a Easter egg song, but there's still technically a treasure hunt Easter egg that hasn't been fully found out yet, and it might have something to do with the Rat King's book and the Rat King's lair, because we never really did anything with that in the main Easter egg, so that might have something to do with it. There could be like a whole nother boss fight or something to do with it too.
I guess the worst part is that when we discovered this, we thought it was part of the main Easter egg, because we're on the main hunt, just trying to figure it out, and then all of a sudden we spawn these symbols on the Savage Clock, and what happens when you see an actual effect? You get confused.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
we
no
did
clue.
it literally opening night and had no idea what it was at all, which is interesting.
This theory, though, that you're talking about from Smart Guy, I thought was really interesting. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so there is some writing in the subways that talk about a cabin in Yuma
and we see at the end of the Easter egg ending cutscene that it's in black and white. So basically, Smart Guy got a theory together that there's a movie called 310 to Yuma, which is like a Western, which could possibly be tying to this. Now, the reason it's in the subway is because the main character in that movie is waiting for a train as well, which could have ties to it. It's also a Western theme, and it's kind of interesting that it's in the subway, even though he's waiting for a train. It's pretty much the same thing. I just think that that's definitely very, very interesting. We will link the video in the description if you want to check it out. But
Sure.
I would definitely recommend watching that, guys, because it's pretty good.
Pretty eye-opening. There's those writings on the walls. I never thought to read them, It's just there's a bunch of junk all over the walls in Shell and Shuffle. I probably should think about reading them, You go around hitting square or X just to activate stuff during the Easter egg. You're not thinking maybe I should just read the graffiti on the walls, but he did. And so if you want to find out more about that, check that link in the description box. It'll take good care
So
of
my
you.
mic was not working for like the last 5 minutes or so.
It happens, dude.
I'm over here talking, and I'm like, I'm wondering why I'm not being heard, and I found out why.
What do you think of this Savage Easter egg?
Well, I said Fred Savage when he mentioned a guy named Savage, and I was wondering why nobody laughed, because apparently my mic was broken. You guys know who Fred Savage is?
Nope.
Nope.
The
Yes,
Wonder
I do.
Years, the little kid actor.
The Wonder Years. Okay, yep. I know of the show. Let me Google search it quick. Wonder Years.
Was there anything else you had to add about the Black Ops 3 thing, Luna? Or Black Ops 2?
Yeah, Black Ops 2, when it comes to like the speedruns and whatnot, I think it's really cool that a lot of people do enjoy watching it, but a lot of these bigger people or whatever you would want to see that, a lot of the smaller people are doing it and getting a bunch of views out of it and even getting on the leaderboards, and they see, oh, well, this is turning into a fad, let me do it, and then everyone else is starting to kind of it's opened a whole like huge door for competition to be completely fair.
Yeah. That's true.
So I never did any speedruns up until the Mob of the Dead stuff with you. So it kind of you brought me into the speedrunning world of that, and
So looking back on it now, do you think it's worth it? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think one thing that needs to be focused on more when people go into doing these speedruns is like, if you're actually going to do it, please make sure that it's something you can actually achieve and not just using it for a title and views, because I've seen a lot of people in the speedrunning community that are getting a little upset about that stuff. And, I mean, honestly, it took us a long time to get any record, but after actually getting it, it does feel very nice.
You mentioned before that I just wanted to add this in because I felt it was so important. When you push start, you wanted to have a toggle switch to actually activate a clock in game for speedruns. You think Sledgehammer might take that step?
I think that would be a really cool addition to add, because I don't see speedruns going away when this comes out. I hope there's something different as well, though. I hope that there's more than just one game mode when it comes to zombies.
Yeah, I agree.
RW. I hope there's some sort of like wave where you just stay alive as long as you can, and maybe you find weapons around the map or something. But also like a regular zombies map type deal as well.
It's breaking it down, just like we had before with Grief and Turned. They just took the same map and broke it down into different ways, and that's how they made game modes. That could happen, or speedruns. Add improvements in the menu system for speedruns if we need to take a step-by-step path to actually getting new game modes. Start with the speed runs. It's a new phenomenon. I'd say explore it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And talking about like different game modes and whatnot, what do we think is going to happen next when it comes to the next big Call of Duty live stream? Is it going to be Zombies Chronicles? Is it going to be E3 talking about World War II, or even DLC 3?
Good question.
I mean, I honestly think that it's probably...
I doubt it'll be DLC 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say that there's definitely a possibility at E3 for PlayStation to showcase Zombie Chronicles.
When did Shell and Shuffle release? The 11th?
The
11th of April?
18th.
18th of April. Man, it's only been a week and some change
Yeah.
since it came out. So we got to look at the date right now. It's April 29th. So let's just say almost 2 weeks, right? Almost 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
The map usually, from map to map, DLC 1 to DLC 2, what, 3 months? 2 months? What do you think?
About 3 or so.
Yeah,
About
like
3.
2.5, something like that. But, I mean, if we look at what
1,
Treyarch did, I mean, they didn't
2.
release Garage Crovey till July. So there's that
That's what it's looking
whole
like.
window in there with E3 taking place in June that could definitely announce something. It could definitely give us something about Zombie Chronicles or World War II. So I would say that the next time we're going to get any news really, besides like obviously leaks and whatnot, are going to be then.
Yeah, the rumor is June 27th for Zombie Chronicles. Now, if we look, July actually is the ETA, expected date of arrival, for DLC 3. Somewhere on a Tuesday, there's the 4th, 11th, 18th. But the month before that, June, that is where we're focusing on DLC 5. We're thinking E3 is happening in June, around, the 13th through the 15th. The following week, very possible. The week after that, the 20th, the 27th of June, DLC 5 dates. Because then at the end of July is when DLC 3 should happen for Infinite Warfare. So the dates match up for a DLC 5. This is the time for it to happen. And that's what's coming next, I think.
Yeah. So I think we pretty much covered all the solid topics that there are for this week. I'm sure we're going to dive deeper with more discussion, but next week we're planning on having a deep discussion with Mad Gaz, talking about his map, the Ochelon, which just got released, so make sure you guys go play that. It just got released on Saturday when you guys are Friday. So make sure you guys go check that map out if you're into custom zombies, because we're going to be talking with him. We're going to be talking about the map. We're going to be talking about his thoughts and opinions of custom zombies and whatnot. And it's going to be a great episode next week. And once again, a huge thank you to Luna for stopping by and sharing his thoughts about what we discussed today in the podcast. So
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic broke almost halfway through for 5 minutes.
yeah.
That's good.
all
Appreciate you
good,
being
man.
on, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
And
Definitely.
yeah, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you next Sunday with a brand new podcast. Peace out, guys.
See you guys.